Can you imagine that after a man has sexually assaulted this particular lady, not once but twice, that man also infected this particular lady with sexually transmitted infection, gonorrhea. And on top of that, the man reported this particular lady, and this lady was sentenced to 2 years in prison. This story doesn't make sense. Now, let me tell you all about the story of this lady, Esther. For the meantime, you need a tissue or handkerchief because this story will make you, yeah. So the whole thing started around 2017 or 2018. This particular lady, whose name is Esther, a 27-year-old lady, was working as a Momo vendor. Now, the business wasn't owned by Esther. It was owned by one particular man whose name is Mr. Owusu. So Mr. Owusu was the owner of this particular Momo business, and then he employed Esther to take care of the business, while he, Mr. Owusu, pays Esther 200 Ghana cedis at the end of every month. So business was ongoing very well because Esther was obviously a hardworking lady, diligent with the business, doing everything well. So one particular day, according to Esther, while she was still at work doing the business, Mr. Owusu called Esther and then informed Esther that Esther should close early around 8 o'clock p.m. and then head to the home of Mr. Owusu, where he will do accountability of the money, like show how the business is going, what profits she has made so far and everything, like accountability. Good. So Esther obeyed her boss and then closed at exactly 8 o'clock p.m. that particular day, and then went straight to the home of Mr. Owusu. According to Esther, it was the first time Esther, was going to the home of Mr. Owusu. She hadn't gone there before. Now, when she arrived at the home of Mr. Owusu was sitting in the living room, the sitting room, where he was drinking some tea. She arrived over there and then had a seat. Mr. Owusu invited Esther to have some of the tea, and then Esther obliged and then had some of the tea. Unfortunately, it looked like Mr. Owusu had dragged the tea and then gave it to Esther. So when Esther drank it, according to her, she lost consciousness. The only thing Esther remembered was that she had arrived at the home of Mr. Owusu around 8:30 p.m. thereabouts, and then Mr. Owusu gave her tea to drink. She took the tea, and then all of a sudden, she was waking up at exactly 11:30 p.m. Not in the sitting room, but inside the bedroom of Mr. Owusu, lying on the bed with her panties down. She wasn't wearing them again. And then she saw that there were semen in her something. And then also there was semen on the bed, and her pants was lying somewhere, and she was like naked. She didn't understand what was going on, so immediately she knew that something had gone on between her and then Mr. Owusu. So Esther immediately got up, and then she was very scared, and she was angry, and she was not happy about how she woke up and whatever that was running through her mind. So immediately Esther got up and started accusing Mr. Owusu, the boss, of forcefully doing soko pimpim with her. Now the boss did not deny, because it was obvious. He has forcefully done soko pimpim with Esther. Now Esther started accusing him and then threatening to go and report Mr. Owusu to her father and also to other authorities. Mr. Owusu, according to Esther, worked at the Presbyterian Hospital at Afram Plains thereabout. So Mr. Owusu started begging Esther and then telling her that it was a mistake, it won't happen again. She should please not report him, because if she reports him, he's going to lose his job, he may go to jail and blah blah blah. Esther was crying so much, she didn't know what to do. However, she got up and in tears she left Mr. Owusu's home, because Mr. Owusu had promised that he would do anything for her, just that she should not report the case. He's ready to do anything, give her any amount of money and do anything she wants, but she should not report the case. So Esther tearfully and sadly got up and left Mr. Owusu's home and then went to her house. After the incident, Esther didn't stop working for Mr. Owusu. Esther was still working for Mr. Owusu. And about 3 months after that particular terrible incident that occurred between them, Mr. Osu traveled to Kumasi. Now, according to Esther, Mr. Osu had wife and children living in Kumasi. So Mr. Osu traveled to Kumasi to go spend some time with a wife and children. Mr. Osu was there for a couple of months and then returned back to the Afram Plains. When the guy came back to Afram Plains, and he called Esther again to tell Esther that, I've been away for a couple of months, so please come home and then, and then account whatever the profit you have gotten, how the business has been going, if you have made any loss, if you have made any profits, and how the business have gone so far, how much money you have made. I've been away, so come and account, come to my house. But remember, the first time Esther went to the home of Mr. Osu, Mr. Osu had put something inside tea, gave it to Esther. Esther drank it. Esther fell unconscious. Mr. Osu forcefully did sokopimpim with Esther, and Esther wasn't happy with it. So Esther immediately told Mr. Osu that, I am not going to come. I won't come. The first time I came to your house, you did this and you did that to me. I wasn't happy about it. Up to now, I am still traumatized. I don't even know what to do with myself. I won't come. Mr. Osu was like, oh, I'm sorry. I told you it was a mistake. It will never happen again. That is not the kind of man I am. Please come. It's all about business and no feelings attached. Nothing. I won't do anything. I won't touch you. Esther was like, I won't come. Mr. Osu was like, please do come. Please just forgive me and come. So Esther was like, okay, I think he's a good man, because that was the first time. I didn't even know what got into him. So Esther finally decided to go and give Mr. Osu another chance. So Esther left and then went to the home of Mr. Osu. Now, when Esther arrived as usual, Mr. Osu was sitting in the sitting room. This time, he wasn't drinking tea. He was just sitting down. So Esther arrived, and then Mr. Osu pointed a seat to Esther and then asked Esther, sit here, put the money on the table, start arranging them, counting them. Let me pick something from the bedroom and come out. So Esther sat on the chair, placed the money on the table, started counting them. But you see, where Esther was sitting, his back was facing the entrance of the bedroom. Like, the bedroom entrance was backward and the chair was facing this way. So Mr. Osu came and passed, went inside the bedroom. He was there for just a few minutes, and then all of a sudden Esther realized that Mr. Osu had come out and then with a handkerchief covered Esther's mouth and nose, like just placed the handkerchief to cover. I think there was something in there, a diffuser, to make Esther unconscious so that he can forcefully do the sokopimps again with Esther. But this time Esther was very quick. Immediately he covered Esther's nose and mouth. Esther also, go to hook. You see, so Esther just it gave Mr. Osu gave him some hook. Mr. Osu fell and then immediately got up again to so they started that scuffle. That scuffle was happening on the ground. Finally, Mr. Osu is the man, Esther is the lady. Men are, naturally stronger than women. So Mr. Osu was able to forcefully, and due to the fact that the thing has already entered her, the chemicals, she was weak. So finally, Mr. Osu was able to overpower Esther. And again, Mr. Osu was able to do the sokopempen with Esther forcefully without the consent of Esther. Esther was very, very angry. Like, she was totally angry. She was annoyed. She wanted to beat Mr. Osu, but she couldn't. So this time, immediately she got up. She started going out with the conviction that she is going to report Mr. Osu. Mr. Osu ran after Esther. However, he couldn't catch up with Esther because Esther had long gone away. And then when Esther got home, she went straight to the dad and then reported to her dad. However, the dad told Esther that he is traveling and immediately he comes back, they are going to act on the matter. He will take action. But when the dad traveled, the dad spent like 3 months over there on the trip and didn't return. And within that 3 months, Esther started realizing some changes, especially around her private parts, her under there, because Esther said that there was some whitish liquid coming out of her under. The under there was very itchy. When she used to urinate, it's very painful, and the whole under there was changing color, and it was a whole mess under there. So, and there were sores over there. So Esther knew that no, there's something wrong. And the thing is that Esther is a devoted Christian. Esther wasn't even dating before Mr. Osu did that particular terrible thing to her. So obviously, whatever that is wrong with Esther was gotten from Mr. Osu. The whole thing got out of hand when sometimes Esther said that there were blood coming out of her nostrils. So for this reason, she went and then reported to Mr. Osu, that man who forcefully did the sokopems with her, and then told Mr. Osu that, I think you have given me a sickness from what you did to me because I am experiencing this and that. Guess what? Mr. Osu did not deny anything. Mr. Osu simply started begging Esther once again, saying that, Esther, please don't report this case. If you report it, I'll lose my job. I may go to prison. My family, please don't report me. Esther listened again because Mr. Osu this time promised Esther that he is going to send doctors to check up on Esther. And for several months, the doctor wasn't coming to check up on Esther. Esther went back to Mr. Osu to report again, and then Mr. Osu simply told Esther that the doctor had traveled, so he should wait. When the doctor comes back, he'll check. But the case was becoming severe because the under there was itchy, it was sore, there were liquid, some bad liquid coming out of there. It was a whole mess, and there were blood sometimes oozing out of the nose. So Esther had to take action. Now Esther went to one particular herbalist, and that particular herbalist had told Esther that based on the symptoms Esther is having, it shows that Esther has something called gonorrhea. At a point, the severity of the symptoms of whatever Esther was going through was becoming more and more. So it came to that point where Esther couldn't even go to job again because obviously, since all that was happening under the pungent smell or bad smell could come out. So Esther was very sick and then uncomfortable. So she stopped going to work and told Mr. Osu about the case. Mr. Osu was very angry and was like, if you are not going to work, if you are not going to be doing the momo again, give me my business, let me give it to somebody else because I hired you, I pay you 200 cedi every month to do this business for me. If you are not interested, bring my money. Esther was like, you can't tell me that because if it is you who forcefully did the sokopems with me and now look at what I am going through. So if you are threatening to sack me from the job, then just know that I am going to report you to the appropriate authorities. At this point again, Mr. Osu didn't want to lose his job, and he didn't want to be in trouble. So he immediately said, okay, it's fine. So at a point in time, Esther even stopped going to church. And guess why Esther stopped going to church? According to Esther, she attends one particular powerful church known as True Faith, GDA Koko. Now, True Faith or GDA Koko is a church that is so powerful that when you commit a sin on any day, at anywhere, at any point in time, when you come to church on Sunday, the pastor can immediately know. So it was one time that Esther was in church on Sunday. The pastor looked at Esther and was like, Esther, Esther was like, yeah, it's true. Now, so it wasn't my fault. Obi ne force me no dem yes sir, and yes say me dem who come out will be any. But still, Esther had done it. Fornication is fornication. So the incident was so shameful to an extent that Esther stopped going to church. So finally, when Esther realized that the symptom was becoming severe, he was losing respect and his life was now at risk, Esther finally went and told Mr. Osu, please do something about this. You did this to me. Find a way of solving it. Mr. Osu was like, okay, you know what? All the capital and the profit from the Momo business, just take it. I have dashed it to you. Do with it whatever you want to do. Now, you see, Mr. Osu said that. Then Esther took the money. And yes, Esther started treating herself with the money and using the money to do whatever she wanted. Just not long after, the man had boldly and directly told Esther to take the money. He doesn't want you to take the money as compensation for whatever he did to her. No. This particular man, Mr. Osu, went back to the police station, reported Esther to police officers, accusing Esther of stealing his money. Yes, the man, when they told police that Esther has stolen his money, that Esther was employed by him, he pays Esther, and Esther has decided to run with his entire business capital and profits. So police went to the home of Esther and then arrested Esther and then remanded her into custody. After remanding Esther into lawful custody, Esther was arraigned before court and then the trial started. On one of the trial days, Esther told the judge that, you see, this particular man who has brought me to the police and now I've landed in this court, this man forcefully did soccer pimps with me. He forced himself on me. He infected me with gonorrhea. He treated me so bad. He gave me the money he's now accusing me of stealing. He gave it to me as a way of shutting my mouth so that I won't report him for the heinous things he has done to me. Now he has brought me here. Mr. Judge, you know what? I have a phone recording because the day he gave me the money, it was over a phone call. And I was wise enough to record the conversation we had. So you know what? Just allow me to play the conversation as evidence that I didn't steal his money. He gave me the money. The judge was like, really? You have evidence? No worry. Tomorrow, bring the phone and play the voice to the hearing of the entire court. Let's see. Esther was very glad, and after the court session, Esther was taken by a Boa motor rider to the police station where she was remanded to go and retrieve her mobile phone. Now, what was shocking was that after the court session was over several hours ago, when Esther was being taken to go take her phone and return to wherever they were taking her, Esther realized something. Mr. Owusu was constantly with the police officers and court officials around the court premises, even several hours after their trial session was over. Now, Esther was like, what's going on? Why is this man just around the police officers, with the police officers and the court officials at the court premises? The court session had been over. You should have been home by now. So I think at this point, Mr. Owusu had, I don't know, allegedly bribed them, because as I go forward with the story, you realize why I said allegedly Mr. Owusu might have bribed the police and the officials of the court. Now, you remember the judge told Esther that tomorrow she should bring the phone and play the voice recording to them. Now, the next day came, the court session began. Esther reminded the judge, yo, Mr. Judge, you told me that I'll play this voice recording. Please, this is about my life. Let me play the recording to, show you that I didn't steal his money. He gave me the money and he even did some terrible things to me on top of it. The judge was like, really? I told you play voice note. Well, it's over. Like, it's past and gone. Forget about it. You are not going to play any voice recording. And so I was like, but you said today I'll play. The judge was like, my friend, I said, forget it. It's in the past. It's past and gone. You are not going to play anything in the court. And the thing is, because Esther was poor, because Esther was from a poor background, Esther did not have any strong legal representative at the court. No matter what Esther did, no matter how she persisted, no matter how she begged with the judge refused to allow her play the voice recording. The judge was like, no, you are not playing it. It's past and gone. Esther did whatever she could. She wasn't allowed to play the voice recording. And it was the only evidence that could vindicate her from this particular persecution, this particular wrongful trial she was standing for. So she was denied it. Now, if you're wondering where all this happened in Donkorkrom in the Afram Plains. And it is the reason why I said earlier that Mr. Owusu might have bribed the court officials and the police, because even after the case, when Esther was still going to pick her phone, he was standing there with them. Let's continue with the story. Now, Esther, after being denied the opportunity to showcase the only evidence she has in order to vindicate herself from this particular sentencing that she's about to get, the judge went ahead to rule that Esther should be sent to prison for 2 years. Esther pleaded, but the judge insisted that Esther should be sent to prison for 2 years. Immediately, Esther heard that she was to be sent to prison for 2 years. According to her, she collapsed. She fainted. She lost conscious. She only woke up at the hospital, the Presbyterian Hospital at Donkorkrom, Afram Plains. And when she woke up, there was a police CID standing by her. She spent 2 days at the hospital and then subsequently transferred to a police station. So she was sent to a police station at Nkwatia, and over there, the district chief executive of Afram Plains even came to visit her. That was when she was at the hospital, and then informed her that the district chief executive, is on the matter because the case doesn't make sense. Somebody has assaulted you, and you are going to jail again for crimes you did not commit, for not doing anything wrong. So it doesn't make sense. Not only the DC, several other people who heard about the story of Esther started trooping into the hospital. So that was why immediately the police took Esther from the hospital, sent Esther to the Nkwatia police station, and from there they took Esther to the prison. Now, when all this were happening, according to Esther, her family did not know the whereabouts of her after the court session. They didn't know where she was. So when she went to the police station, they now gave her a phone to call and inform the family that she is to be sent to the prison. And then she was sent to prison. And over there at the prison, she was given a phone again where she could randomly communicate with the family members to say that she's in the prison. As at the time that she was interviewed at the prison, Esther had served 1 month in the prison. 1 month in the prison. She was obviously very traumatized, very emotional when narrating that particular story. You see, these are some of the things that people have gone through. Some people are in the prison just because they were not wealthy enough to afford legal representative, because according to Esther, she did not have the money to pay for a lawyer. So she was just standing in the courts. They were just saying whatever they were saying. She was listening and she was trying to defend herself, but she was vulnerable because she had no legal representative at the courts. Yes. And also, the whole thing was a messed up, and I didn't understand why even after she was sentenced, the district chief executive has said he was looking into the matter. Several other people were saying they were looking into the matter, but they didn't actually do anything in the end. However, Crime Check Foundation appealed to the general public to ensure that monies were contributed together in order to afford a legal counsel so that they could appeal the case of Esther, because this story is actually very traumatizing. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we will be posting more stories such as this and many more. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to share the video, like, and then also leave a comment. Thank you very much for your attention.